Question 1. In the context of our man backup strategies, Maria notices that her incremental backups sometimes cause longer recovery times than expected. What should Maria consider changing to optimize recovery performance without increasing backup storage excessively? A. Switch to level 0 incremental backups only. B. Implement cumulative incremental backups instead of differential incremental backups. C. Increase the frequency of full backups to minimize incremental backup size. D. Use image copies instead of backup sets for incremental backups. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Using cumulative incremental backups reduces recovery time because each backup contains all changes since the last full backup, simplifying recovery by needing fewer incremental backups to apply. Differential incrementals only capture changes since the last incremental, potentially requiring more steps during recovery. Increasing full backup frequency increases storage demand unnecessary. Image copies for incremental backups provide exact copies, but do not inherently optimize recovery times. Thus, cumulative incrementals strike the best balance for recovery speed and backup storage efficiency. Question 2. Given the circumstances where an Oracle database suffers partial data block corruption in a critical table space, what is the best approach for the DBA, AVID, to repair the issue with minimal downtime? A. Restore the entire data file from backup and recover it fully. B. Use block media recovery to repair only the corrupt blocks. C. Perform an incomplete recovery using RMAN until just before corruption. D. Drop and recreate the corrupted table space to eliminate corrupt blocks. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Block media recovery allows repair of individual corrupt blocks without restoring entire data files, minimizing downtime and data loss risk. Restoring full data files or a complete recovery requires more time and risks data loss beyond the corrupt blocks. Dropping and recreating table spaces is destructive and causes data loss, hence inappropriate. Therefore, block media recovery offers a precise, disruptive approach to repair corrupt blocks while keeping the rest of the database online. Question 3. While examining RMAN recovery catalog usage, Priya needs to understand the advantage of using a recovery catalog over just the control file for backup metadata. What is the key benefit that she should rely on? A. It reduces the size of RMAN backup sets significantly. B. It allows management and reporting of backups across multiple databases. C. It eliminates the need for RMAN recovery commands. D. It encrypts backup metadata to improve security. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. A recovery catalog stores backup metadata separately from the control file, enabling centralized management of backup metadata across databases, enhanced retention of backup history, and advanced reporting. However, it does not directly reduce backup set size or replace RMAN commands. Recovery catalog metadata can be encrypted, providing an additional layer of security, which is a key benefit over file metadata that lacks this feature. Thus, encryption and centralized management are major advantages. Question 4. According to recent studies, what is the most significant risk if the DBA, Liam, neglects to configure the archiving of redo logs in an Oracle database running in archivalog mode? A. The database will run out of space due to excessive redo generation. B. Recovery options are limited to only instance recovery without full restore capabilities. C. Archived logs consume excessive EO bandwidth, slowing transactions. D. User sessions will be forcibly terminated during log switches. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Archiving redo logs in archivalog mode is critical for complete recovery options after media failure. If not properly configured, redo logs can cause performance degradation due to excessive EO load from archiving processes. While lack of archiving limits recovery to instance recovery, the primary operational risk is performance impact. Running out of space is a potential issue, but usually managed by quotas and monitoring. Forced termination of user sessions is unrelated to redo archiving. Question 5. Considering the evidence from an ADAM report, the DBA, Sarah, finds high contention on library cache locks during peak hours. What should be Sarah's immediate focus to alleviate this bottleneck? A. Increase the SEA size to accommodate more shared pool memory. B. Implement SUL plan baselines to stabilize execution plans. C. Review and tune poorly performing SUL statements causing excessive pass calls. D. Disable parallel query execution to reduce locking. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Library cache lock contention often arises due to excessive passing of SUL statements, causing frequent locking and contention in the shared pool. Tuning in efficient SUL reduces passing frequency, relieving contention. Increasing SGA may help but won't directly solve inefficient SL plan baselines stabilize plans but do not reduce pass calls. Disabling parallel queries might reduce some locks but is not direct solution to library cache contention. Therefore, focusing on SUL tuning is the best immediate action. Question 6. During the process of database upgrade, the DBA, Raj, wants to ensure minimal disruption to users and maintain transactional consistency. What approach should Raj use for applying patches? A. Apply patches directly on the production database during peak hours. B. Use the rolling upgrade feature to patch one instance at a time in rack. C. Shut down the database completely and then apply patches offline. D. Export the database using data pump patch and then import. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Rolling upgrades in Oracle RAC allow patching of individual instances sequentially while others remain online, minimizing downtime and preserving transactional consistency. Applying patches during peak hours risks data corruption and availability loss. Offline patching causes longer downtime, unsuitable for critical production systems. Export-import is not a patching strategy but a data migration technique. Thus, rolling upgrades are best practice for patching RAC databases with minimal disruption. Question 7. Under the assumption that a DAMer needs to move large table spaces between databases quickly for a migration project, which method would be most effective and least disruptive? A. Export and import using data pump with full table export. B. Use transportable table spaces to move table spaces directly. C. Prefer RMAN duplication to clone the entire database. D. Use SUL star loader to unload and reload data. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Transportable table spaces provide a fast method to move large table spaces between databases without unloading data, minimizing downtime and complexity. Export-import with data pump and SQL star loader involve unloading and reloading data, which is time-consuming and resource-intensive for large volumes. RMAN duplication clones whole databases, not individual table spaces, which is less efficient for targeted migrations. Hence, transportable table spaces are the preferred method for quick, low-disruption table space migration. Question 8. The general consensus is that enabling automatic memory management (AM) can simplify memory configuration for many Oracle databases. However, in which scenario should the DBA, Alan, consider disabling AM in favor of manual memory management? A. When using very large SGA and EGA sizes requiring fine-tuned resource allocation. B. When running a small single-instance database with low memory usage. C. When the database is running on virtualized hardware with dynamic memory allocation. D. When patching the database with minimal downtime is required. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. AM automates memory allocation but may lack the granular control needed for very large or performance-critical environments requiring precise SGA and EGA tuning. In such cases, manual tuning provides better predictability and performance optimization. Small or virtualized environments benefit from AM's automation. Memory management choice does not directly affect patching downtime. Hence, high systems requiring fine control should disable AM. Question 9. While evaluating the effect of optimizer statistics, the DBA, Nina, realizes some queries are performing worse after a recent stats update. What is the most plausible cause and recommended action? A. Statistics gathering caused index corruption. Rebuild the indexes. B. Optimizer chose suboptimal execution plans due to stale statistics. Gather new stats with histograms. C. Automatic statistics gathering is disabled. Enable it immediately. D. Statistics gathering caused data file fragmentation. Reorganize table spaces. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Stale or missing optimizer statistics cause poor execution plan choices, degrading performance. Automatic statistics gathering helps keep stats fresh. Index corruption or data file fragmentation is unlikely caused by stats gathering. Histograms can help, but only if data distribution changes. Enabling and scheduling automatic stats gathering is a foundational best practice to avoid such performance issues. Question 10. From the perspective of Oracle Scheduler, James wants to automate database maintenance tasks to run only when resource usage is low. What scheduler feature should James use to achieve this? A. Use job chains with conditional dependencies. B. Configure job classes with resource consumer groups. C. Schedule jobs with repeat intervals during off-peak hours. D. Define job windows that restrict job execution during busy periods. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Job chains allow complex workflows with conditional steps and dependencies, enabling tasks to run only when prior jobs complete successfully or resources are available. Scheduling jobs off-peak reduces conflict but doesn't guarantee low resource usage. Job classes group jobs but do not control timing. Job windows restrict when jobs can run but cannot dynamically adjust to resource availability. Chains provide flexible, event-driven automation aligned with resource constraints. Question 11. From a practical standpoint, John is configuring RMAN backups and wants to ensure minimal impact on database performance during business hours. Which backup type should John choose to optimize backup time and system load? A. Full backup using image copies. B. Incremental level 1 differential backup. C. Compressed full backup sets. D. User-managed cold backups during peak hours. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Compressed full backup sets reduce storage space and EO load, thus lowering performance impact during backups. Image copies provide exact copies, but generally take more time and resources than backup sets. Incremental backups minimize data backed up but might require longer recovery times. User-managed cold backups during peak hours are disruptive as the database must be offline, which is not practical for minimal impact requirements. Question 12. In light of recent developments when recovering a database to a specific point in time after user accidentally deleted critical data, what feature should the DBA Lisa utilize to achieve quick logical recovery without restoring from backup? A. Flashback database. B. Point-in-time recovery using RMAN. C. Block media recovery. D. Transportable table spaces. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. Point-in-time recovery with RMAN enables recovering the database to a state before logical errors like accidental deletions. Flashback database is faster but relies on flashback logs, which may not cover the required period. Block media recovery fixes corrupt blocks, not logical data errors. Transportable table spaces are for moving data, not recovery. Therefore, point-in-time recovery provides restoration of logical errors. Question 13. Taking into account the need to manage redo log switches effectively, what should the DBA Mark do to ensure no data loss and efficient log management in a high transaction ALP system? A. Set small redo log file sizes to force frequent switches. B. Configure multiple log groups with at least 2 members each. C. Disable archiving to improve performance. D. Use only one redo log group to simplify management. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Using only one redo log group risks overwriting logs before they are archived, causing potential data loss and limiting recovery options. Small log sizes cause excessive log switches, increasing overhead. Disabling archiving disables recoverability in archive-log mode. Proper configuration involves multiple log groups with multiplex members to balance performance and safety. Hence, the correct approach is multiple log groups, not a single group. Question 14. While examining resource allocation issues, Amanda observes some users consuming excessive CPU and memory, affecting others. Which feature should Amanda configure to prioritize critical workloads and limit resource usage for less important sessions? A. Automatic memory management. And B. Database resource manager with consumer groups. C. SUL plan baselines. D. Flashback table. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Automatic memory management helps allocate memory automatically but does not control CPU or session resource usage explicitly. Database Resource Manager is designed to prioritize workloads and limit CPU I/O and parallelism through consumer groups, effectively managing resource allocation among users. SUL plan baselines stabilize query plans but don't manage resource allocation. Flashback table recovers table data unrelated to resource management. Therefore, Resource Manager is the correct solution. Question 15. Under the assumption that a DKVIN wants to detect and repair block corruption quickly without taking the entire data file offline, what is the most effective recovery technique? A. Complete media recovery of the whole data file. B. Block media recovery using RMAN. C. Drop and recreate the affected table space. D. Export and re-import the corrupted segments. Answer. Correct answer, B. Explanation. Block media recovery targets individual corrupt blocks using RMAN without offline impact on the whole data file, reducing downtime and data loss. Complete media recovery is more time-consuming and disruptive. Dropping table spaces is destructive and causes data loss. Export-import is a workaround but slower, not intended for block-level corruption repair. Hence, block media recovery is the precise, efficient option. Question 16. Given the circumstances of a rack environment with multiple instances, what method should the DBA HL use to apply patches with zero downtime? A. Shut down all instances and patch offline. B. Use the roll-in upgrade feature to patch instances one at a time. C. Clone the database and apply patches on the clone. D. Use data pump to export, patch, and import data. Answer. Correct answer, A. Explanation. Rolling upgrades allow patching one instance at a time with others online, minimizing downtime. Shutting down all instances causes full downtime, unsuitable for zero downtime. Cloning and data pump export-import are migration strategies, not patching methods. Therefore, rolling upgrades are the best practice for rack patching with continuous availability. Question 17. When considering optimizer statistics, the DBA Olivia notices that recent stats gathering caused performance degradation in key queries. What is the best immediate step to resolve this? A. Disable automatic statistics gathering permanently. B. Gather statistics with histograms on skewed columns. C. Rebuild all indexes after statistics gathering. D. Increase SEAIs to accommodate new execution plans. Answer. Correct answer, C. Explanation. Statistics gathering can change execution plans, sometimes degrading performance. Histograms help but require careful application. Rebuilding indexes after stats can improve access paths, mitigating performance issues caused by outdated or fragmented indexes. Disabling stats gathering is risky as it leads to stale statistics and poor plan choices. Increasing SEAIs does not directly address plan degradation. Therefore, index maintenance post-statistics is effective. Question 18. Through careful analysis of backup logs, the DBA Ethan suspects that some backups have inconsistent metadata in the RMAN recovery catalog. What should Ethan do to maintain catalog integrity? A. Rebuild the recovery catalog database. B. Synchronize the recovery catalog with the target database using RMAN. C. Drop and recreate the recovery catalog. D. Disable recovery catalog usage and rely on control file only. Answer. Correct answer, D. Explanation. RMAN provides commands to synchronize the recovery catalog with target metadata. Fixing inconsistencies, rebuilding or dropping the catalog causes loss of backup metadata, risking recovery. Disabling catalog usage sacrifices advanced features and centralized backup management, but may be temporary in extreme cases. Synchronization is the best method to maintain catalog integrity without data loss. Question 19. Taking into account ASM disk group management, the DBA Sophie needs to increase storage for an ASM disk group without downtime. What approach should she take? A. Offline the disk group, add disks, then bring it online. B. Use ASM rebalance operation after adding new disks to the group online. C. Remove existing disks, add new disks, then recreate the disk group. D. Create a new disk group and migrate data manually. Answer. Correct answer, A. Explanation. ASM allows adding disks online without downtime. After adding, ASM automatically rebalances data offline disk groups causes downtime, so not ideal. Removing disks and recreating the disk group causes data loss and downtime. Manual migration to a new disk group is time-consuming and disruptive. Therefore, adding disks online with automatic rebalance is best practice. Question 20. During query performance tuning, the DB8 wants to prevent unpredictable changes in SQL execution plans after optimizer statistics updates. What feature should Michael implement? A. SQL plan management with SQL plan baselines. B. Automatic workload repository snapshots. C. Flashback query for historic SQL plans. D. Resource manager to prioritize SQL execution. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. SQL plan management using SQL plan baselines stabilizes execution plans by controlling which plans the optimizer uses, preventing sudden performance regressions. Automatic workload repository collects performance data but does not prevent plan changes. Flashback query provides data history but not plan control. Resource manager manages resource allocation but not SQL plan stability. Hence, SQL plan management is the best choice. Question 21. Considering the evidence from a busy OLP system, the DB8 Daniel notices frequent latch contention on the shared pool. What should Daniel do to reduce this contention effectively? A. Increase the size of the shared pool to reduce parsing overhead. B. Disable automatic statistics gathering to minimize shared pool usage. C. Remove SQL plan baselines to allow the optimizer more flexibility. D. Reduce the number of redo log groups to minimize latch activity. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Latch contention in the shared pool is commonly caused by excessive hard parsing of SQL statements. Increasing shared pool size reduces the need for frequent parsing and improves cursor sharing, reducing latch weights. Disabling stats gathering doesn't address parsing or shared pool contention. Removing SQL plan baselines can worsen performance by allowing plan instability. Reducing redo log groups affects redo log management unrelated to shared pool latches. Question 22. From the perspective of RMAN configuration, the DB8 Aura wants to ensure backup metadata is preserved even if the control file is lost or corrupted. Which RMAN setup provides the most reliable metadata storage? A. Use only the control file for backup metadata. B. Maintain a recovery catalog database separate from target databases. C. Store backup metadata in a flat file on the database server. D. Enable automatic workload repository snapshots for metadata storage. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. A recovery catalog database is an external repository that stores backup metadata independently from the control file, ensuring metadata persistence and recovery even if the control file is lost or corrupted. Using only the control file risks metadata loss. Flat files are not integrated with RMAN and lack robustness. Snapshots are for performance data, not backup metadata. Question 23. Based on the information of a database with frequent DML errations, the DBA Peter decides to implement segment shrinking on large tables. What is a critical consideration Peter must account for when performing this operation? A. Shrinking reclaims space without locking the table. B. Shrinking causes the table to be unavailable during the operation. C. Shrinking requires the table to be in read-only mode. D. Shrinking cannot be performed on tables with indexes. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Segment shrinking requires the table to be in read-only mode or requires brief exclusive locks as it involves moving rows and reorganizing segments which can impact availability. Shrinking reclaims space but can cause temporary locking and performance impact. Shrinking can be performed on tables with indexes but might require index maintenance afterward. Question 24. While troubleshooting database recovery, the DBA Maria needs to perform incomplete recovery due to data corruption. What is the fundamental limitation of incomplete recovery using RMAN? A. It cannot recover from media failures. B. It requires the database to be in no-cover-log mode. C. It results in loss of transactions after the recovery point. D. It does not allow recovery of control files. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Incomplete recovery is used to recover the database to a past point in time and involves rolling back uncommitted transactions after that time. causing loss of subsequent transactions. It requires the database to be in archivolog mode. Media failures can still be recovered if backups exist. However, control files cannot be recovered by complete recovery alone. Separate steps are needed. Hence, control file recovery is a limitation in this scenario. Question 25. Within the framework of DataGuard configuration, the DBA Kevin observes that the standby database is lagging behind the primary. Which action should Kevin take to improve synchronization? A. Increase the size of redo log files on the primary. B. Enable real-time apply on the standby database. C. Disable redo transport services to reduce network load. D. Drop and recreate the standby database. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. Increasing redo log file sizes reduces log switches frequency, allowing more redo data to be sent efficiently to the standby, improving synchronization. Enabling real-time apply reduces lag by applying redo as it arrives, but may not be enough if log switches are frequent and network limited. Disabling redo transport breaks data guard functionality. Dropping and recreating the standby is disruptive, not a first step. Question 26. In terms of SUL Tuning Advisor usage, the DBA Rachel wants to generate recommendations for a poorly performing SUL statement. Which prerequisite must Rachel ensure before running the advisor? A. The SUL statement must be stored in a shared pool. B. The SUL statement must have an existing SUL plan baseline. C. The SUL statement must be executed with the optimizer mode set to rule. D. The SUL statement must have been executed and captured in our. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation. SUL Tuning Advisor analyze SUL statements with existing SUL plan baselines or ones that are currently executed to generate tuning recommendations. The baseline provides a stable plan for comparison. The shared pool presence is temporary and not sufficient. Optimizer mode rule is deprecated and unrelated. Execution captured in I is helpful but not strictly required if baselines exist. Question 27. When analyzing wait events, the DBA SAM notes frequent buffer busy waits. What is the most likely cause and what action should SAM take? A. Excessive CPU usage. Tune SQL to reduce CPU load. B. Contention on data blocks. Redistribute data or use partitioning. C. Disk kill bottlenecks. Add more disks to ASM disk group. D. Network latency. Optimize data guard transport settings. Answer. Correct answer. C. Explanation. Buffer busy waits indicate contention for buffer cache access to data blocks, often due to EO bottlenecks causing delays. Adding disks to ASM can increase EO throughput, reducing waits. Excessive CPU affects other wait events, not buffer busy waits. Redistributing data or partitioning helps reduce contention but is secondary to EO capacity. Network latency affects redo transport, not buffer waits. Question 20. Taking into account scheduler job management, the DBA Alice wants to ensure a particular job runs only after successful completion of another job. What scheduler feature should Alice use? A. Job windows to restrict run times. B. Job classes to group related jobs. C. Job chains to define dependencies. D. Job priorities to enforce execution order. Answer. Correct answer. D. Explanation. Job chains explicitly define dependencies and allow jobs to execute conditionally after others complete. Job priorities influence job scheduling but do not enforce strict execution order or dependency. Job windows control allowed time periods but not dependencies. Job classes group jobs for resource management, not execution sequencing. Therefore, job chains are the correct tool. Question 29. For the purpose of securing database backups, the DBA Brian wants to implement encryption of RMAN backups. What is the most effective approach to achieve this? A. Use OR-level encryption on the backup destination. B. Configure RMAN to perform backup encryption using transparent data encryption (EDE) keys. C. Compress backups before copying them to secure storage. D. Rely on recovery catalog encryption features. Answer. Correct answer. A. Explanation. RMAN supports backup encryption natively using TDE keys or password-based encryption, providing end-to-end backup security. OR-level encryption protects backups at rest but not during the backup process. Compression reduces size but does not secure data. Recovery catalog encryption protects metadata only. Therefore, configuring RMAN encryption with TDE keys is the most effective. Question 30. The fundamental question is, what is the primary advantage of using SUL plan baselines in an environment with frequent statistics updates? A. They eliminate the need to gather optimizer statistics. B. They prevent execution plan regressions after stats changes. C. They increase parsing efficiency by caching all SQL plans. D. They automate automatic workload repository snapshot generation. Answer. Correct answer. B. Explanation SQL plan baselines lock in known good execution plans, preventing the optimizer from choosing worse plans after statistics changes, maintaining query performance stability. They do not remove the need for statistics gathering. Caching plans affects parsing but is not the main baseline function. Our snapshots collect performance data but are unrelated to baselines. Thus, plan stability is the key benefit.